Welcome to Chapter 6.4, Application of Percent. So now that we've learned how to work with percents using both equations and proportions, now we're going to apply that to all sorts of different areas. So we find percents and we use percents in more areas than we even usually realize in our daily life. We use it when we're talking about sales tax or a tip if we go to a restaurant. We talk about percent when we have to pay a registration fee for our car. All sorts of actual real life usages. So we're going to come back to both the vocabulary and the equation for percent error later on, but make sure you have these down in your notes. All right, let's get started with example number 1, finding a sales tax. Sales tax is one of those things that has to be exact. I can't estimate it like a tip. I need to know exactly how much to the nearest penny I have to pay. So example 1, the price of a bicycle you plan to buy is $159.99. The sales tax rate is 6%. How much will you pay for the bicycle? And that is in total. So the bicycle is equal to the price plus the tax. So we have to figure out how much that tax is. So the tax is equal to $159.99 times 6%. It's 6% of $159.99, which is equal to $9.60. So you're going to round it to the nearest penny. And I'm going to add the $159.99 plus $9.60 is a total of $169.59 for the bicycle. Make sure you add the original price plus the amount of the tax to get your total. Okay, example 2, estimating a tip. When you go to a restaurant or you are riding in a taxi or doing something where you're going to tip someone, the tip doesn't have to be an exact number. An estimate is just fine. So my taxi fare is $17.85. I want to give a 15% tip. So I'm going to round the $17.85 to something easier to work with. In this case, I'm going to round it to $18. And I'm going to break that 15% into 10% plus 5%. So 10% is very easy to take. We just take the number and divide by 10, or move the decimal one place to the left. So 10% is $1.80. 5% is half of that. Well, half of 18 is 9. So this would be 90 cents. And together, my tip would equal $1.80 plus 90 cents, or $2.70. Now, most of us don't carry $2.70 around with us, so I might round it up to $3 because I don't carry change a lot with me, but this is, again, an estimate. All right, so let's take a look now at example number 3, where again, I'm going to need an exact amount, finding a commission. So commission is the amount of money that a salesperson makes based upon how much they sell. So car salesmen work off of commission. People who sell things, furniture, medical supplies, they will often work off of commission. So a salesperson made $500 in sales. That's how much he sold. His commission is 12.5% of that $500. So of the $500, he gets to keep 12.5% of that. Well, how much is that? So he gets to keep 12.5% of $500. We know of means to multiply. 12.5% written as a decimal is 0.125 times 500. So if we multiply that, he gets to keep $62.50. It doesn't seem like an awful lot of money, but if you make a lot of sales, the more sales you make, the more money you get to keep. Which leads us right into example 4. A sales agent earns a weekly salary of $650 plus a commission of 4% on all of his sales. His sales this week are $1,250. So how much does he earn? So his earnings is his salary plus his commission. Let's see if I can squeeze it in here. Oh, look at that. Well, I know his salary is $650. His commission is 4% of his sales. So I'm going to put that in parentheses. 4% times $1,250. So if I work that out, 4%, remember, we have to move the decimal 2 spaces. So it's 0.04. A really common mistake is that someone will say that 4% is equal to 0.4, but that is not the case. 0.4 is equal to 40%, not 4, so be careful about that. So 0.04 times 1,250. Notice how I'm writing out all of these steps so that I don't miss anything and I follow the order of operations correctly. You need to do the same. So 4% of 1,250 is $50. So his total earnings for the week is $700. Not a whole lot, but again, the more you sell, the more you earn when you're working on a commission-based system. Okay, so we're actually going to skip over example 5 really fast. Hang on, let's erase this. And we're going to come back to it, and we're going to go back, skip over to example 6, finding a registration fee. So every year, the great state of California requires that everyone pay a registration fee for any vehicle, motorcycle, boat, trailer that they own, and it's a percentage of their assessed value. So in one state, I don't know what state, the fee to register a medium weight truck is 1.5% of its assessed value. What is the fee to register a truck with an assessed value of $14,500? So my fee is 1.5% of its value. Or 0.015, turn the percent into a decimal, of means times, and value 14,500. And when I multiply that out, I get 217.5 or 200, just kidding, $217.50. Please remember, one decimal place is fine when you are dealing with a decimal. You need 2 when you are dealing with money, okay? It has to have 2. Okay, let's go back now to example number 5. So now we're going to talk about percent error. So percent error is when we measure something, it's never exactly perfect. It's always off just a teeny tiny little bit. So there's a formula, and this is that formula. No. So the formula is the percent error is equal to the absolute value of the actual value minus the measured value divided by the actual value times 100. Now, let's talk about actual value. This always confuses me a little bit. The actual value is the value or the measurement that it is supposed to be. So if I say that my window is 4 feet tall, when I measure my window, it might only be 3 feet and 11.5 inches. I'm going to round that to 4 feet. So this is what it's supposed to be. This value is the measured value. It's the measure that when I actually take a ruler to it, that's the measured value. So let's apply this to a shoelace factory. So the supervisor at a shoelace factory checks the length of one shoelace out of every 500 made. If shoelaces are not within 0.5% of the specified length, they will be rejected. A 36-inch shoelace she just checked was 35 7/8 inches long. Does she reject this shoelace? So let's plug this in to the equation. So my percent error is equal to the absolute value of my actual value. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be 36 inches minus the measured value, 35 7/8, all divided by the actual or the measure it's supposed to be, and then times 100. Well, 36 minus 35 7/8 is 1/8. And 1/8 as a decimal, I'm going to convert it just to make it a little easier, is 0.0125. So I have, let's change colors just a little bit, 0.0125 divided by 36, all times 100. And that is equal to 0.3472. If I round it, 0.35%. So here's my percent. Is this shoelace rejected? Well, it's not rejected. 0.35% is less than 0.5%. So this shoelace is a-okay to keep. I know there's a lot going on the screen. So if you have questions on this, we can talk about this the next time I see you.